Hello, hello, and welcome again. Yes, it's good to be back after a brief break. It's April and spring. Spring is in the air. Anyway, let's start right away with our prediction round of this week. Okay, the first, first fight that I will be talking about is between George Groves and David Brophy. And this fight is, well, it's a safe fight for Groves, I would say, because Brophy has not, he has only 17 fights so far and one draw, and he is not a puncher, so I would think that Groves will have a rather easy time with him. Even though Brophy may be, I don't know, I've never seen him, but his record suggests that he is more like a technician than a fighter. Anyway, but anyway, Groves, he he knows that he must step on the gas, and to get his career back on track after losing to Badu Jack in his last title fight, and he he is a puncher, as you know, also a boxer. So I think whatever Brophy can do, Groves can do better. So I've put him down, Groves to win by a TKO in the fifth round. Okay, moving on. Our next fight, it's a world title fight, and one of my favorite British fighters is involved, Jamie McDonnell, one of the best also today, I might add, most talented. Jamie McDonnell is fighting this veteran called Juan Alberto Rosas, and well, Rosas he has fought for the world title before, but he has never been really, you know, a champion. And I think this fight will go the 12 rounds most likely, and but McDonnell will win, and I think he will win handsomely, as you say. Um, well, what else is there to say? Um, I was kind of unsure whether to, pick a late stoppage for McDonald because it's possible. But since Rosas is such an experienced fighter, he is. Oh, just a minute. I've just seen that there has been a change in this his opponent. Damn it, Rob! Why didn't you inform us? And his new opponent is called Fernando Vargas. Interestingly, but he's not that Fernando Vargas, of course. And well, that changes the whole thing, doesn't it? Hmm. I don't know why this fight has been cancelled. I mean, why Rosas has pulled out, but this is going to be an Well, perhaps not that much easier fight because this guy Vargas he won in his last fight against Wilfredo Vasquez Jr. So he cannot be like too bad, even though Wilfredo Vasquez is on a slide, and I still yeah, I don't think I will change my prediction for this fight anyway. So as I said, a UD for McDonald and with a possibility of also a stoppage victory for him. Okay, moving on. There is another nice or rather nice British showdown at super welterweight against between Matthew Macklin and Brian Rose. And you know Brian Rose, he's had a few decent victories like against Alcine. He has been exposed recently as kind of, shall I say, overrated. I don't know if that is correct to say because he hasn't been rated that high by so many. But anyway, and even though McInerney has been badly beaten a few times before and knocked out, he has recently bounced back with some stoppage victories. So I think I expect him to win this by a knockout in the sixth round. Yeah, yeah, he's won two with by knockout and one by decision after losing to Hayland. Okay, then we go on to an interesting fight between two young prospects. One is the Russian Konstantin Ponomarev, the other is Brad Solomon. It's for the NABF welterweight title. Both are undefeated, and their combined record is 55. Yeah, 55 and 0. Pretty impressive. I have just heard about this guy Ponomarev the other day, so it was kind of tough to know who to pick, but I've chosen him, just because he has been lauded as an exciting new talent. So I think he will win, or I have chosen him to win by a close majority decision, because this guy Solomon, he doesn't look like a slouch himself, so doesn't look like a bum, and so that's it. And then we have this light heavyweight fight for a vacant NABF title between Ukrainian Alexander Gvozdyk and Najib Mohammedi of France. And Gvozdyk has had 9 fights so far, and he hasn't fought anyone like as good as Mohammedi so far. So I think Mohammedi will win by unanimous decision. He has already exposed a couple of other Ukrainian or Russian previous prospects that were undefeated, and he knocked them out. But I don't think he will knock out. Was it? Maybe we will see. And then we have the Yevgeny Gradovich fight. Between the young prospect Oscar Valdez and Evgeny Gradovich. And that fight also promises to be a good one, and it was hard for me to predict, pick the winner, but since Gradovich was the champion and he is also more experienced, and I just know more about him than about Valdez, so I have chosen him to win by unanimous decision. But anything can happen, of course. Valdez, he looks solid, but he also hasn't. This is his first real fight, big fight. So it's impossible to know. He can shine. He can, win. Can kick Gradovich's ass, but he also can lose badly and get exposed. So we don't know what's. That's the big gamble. And then we go to the star fights, people. And the first one is between one of my favorite British fighters, Lee Selby, who takes on Eric Hunter in his second defense of the IBF featherweight title. And Eric Hunter, he has 3 losses, but he lost 2 of those fights by disqualification. He looks like a wild fighter, and he's not well, he doesn't have that many knockouts anyway on his record, but it does seem he can hit some, because in his last fight he knocked out this guy who doesn't have such a bad record in one round, and he has a few other. He put down Jerry Belmontes, who was undefeated then. And but I think Lee he will stop him eventually. He will break him down gradually, most likely. I hope so. Anyway, it may be a little optimistic. Prediction, but I predict that Selby will win by a 9th round technical knockout. And then the big heavyweight showdown of the week between Charles Martin and Anthony Joshua. And well, Charles Martin, he's the wild card here, of course. We don't know so much about him. He has a lot of knockouts, but not many of those victims were notable names, and his, of course, victory against Glasgow was just a kind of, I'm not gonna say he got lucky, but he didn't win by his own merit, that's for sure. It was an injury stoppage. And Joshua, he's only impressed so far, as you all know. And in his last fight against Dillian White, he showed that he can take a good punch anyway, because he took a good punch against White. Don't remember which round it was, but he bounced back right away, so that was a good sign. Yeah. So I think he will win by a knockout, because this is not, as they said, it's not going in 12 rounds, and it's obvious both guys are just blow them out type of fighters. And so I have picked a 5th round knockout for AJ. Good luck, AJ. And then we have the big fight, Manny Pacquiao versus Timothy Bradley. And well, I think Manny is by now, and as we have seen in the fight against Floyd, he's a spent force, I think. In the last fight between Manny and Bradley, Manny boxed really beautifully, and he just shut out Bradley. But this time it's bound to be different, so I think Bradley will win. It may be a close fight. Most certainly, I think Manny, I'd be surprised if he didn't win at least like 4 rounds or something. But Bradley will win, I think. Simple as that. And then finally, Abraham versus Gilberto Ramirez, super middleweight. I have chosen Ramirez to win because I hope he and think he will win because I'm tired of Abraham. So I picked ninth round TKO because Ramirez is a good puncher. He's 33 and 0, and he's much younger and taller than Abraham. He's 6'2", almost 6'3", and Abraham is like 5'8", 5'9". So I hope he will end Abraham's career because it needs to end. As simply as that is. Yeah. So that was all for now. I don't have any more time. So bye bye.